Hi and welcome to Warts and All Wellbeing. I haven't posted for a couple of weeks videos because we've been away camping down in Cape Otway, which is just near the Great Ocean Road. Had a fantastic time while we were away, but now I'm back and it's been a funny week. I don't know whether it's because we were away on holidays and then we've come back to the usual grind of things and you realise that, it's the same, nothing's much different, or whether it's because it's just been raining constantly for the whole week. And I'm not really sure why, but I do know that most days this week have been quite tricky to be motivated and to kind of move forward and to find some kind of meaning and engagement. So Andrew's been busy doing stuff around the house and I've just been floundering a little bit. So what I decided to do today was to listen to a soundtrack that I got to put together, a playlist that I put together a while back, which I entitled Resilience. So I've talked before about the power of music, and I'm sure you can all relate to that when you put on a good tune, if you're driving home and you put on good sound in the car and it just lifts your spirits. I think we all love that Wayne's World clip when they're listening to Bohemian Rhapsody in the car and they're all kind of like banging their heads and stuff like that. So music can be really powerful at lifting our moods. And so what I've done with this playlist is actually, rather than just choosing songs that I like the sound of and that, take me back somewhere in my memory or something like that, I have chosen songs that have got really good lyrics so that I can focus on the words. And when I get that earworm, which we all end up with, I'm actually going to be repeating things that are encouraging and uplifting and helpful. So let me just backtrack a little bit. You probably know that parable, proverb, the Indian grandfather talking to his grandson about the fact that as human beings we have these two wolves, and one of them is a wolf that they're always in battle, and one of them is a wolf that is full of anger and greed and regret and grief and disappointment and all that kind of stuff, and then the other wolf is joy and peace and happiness and contentment and kindness and all that kind of stuff. And so they're constantly in battle. And so the grandson then turns around to his grandfather, the chief of the tribe, and says, Granddad, who wins? And the answer is pretty simple. It's the one that you feed. And I think that there's a lot to be said for that. If you just think about Bridget Jones, that great scene when she and Mark Darcy have split up and she's listening to All By Myself and kind of sobbing and drowning her sorrows in a glass of wine, which I'm sure I don't know if you've ever done that. I know I certainly have done. It's like, oh my gosh, the whole world is against me. And there's definitely a time when that's appropriate. But if I keep feeding that, then eventually that's the story. I just keep reinforcing it and reinforcing it. And so what I want to do is make sure that I'm feeding the wolf and believing the story that I want to move into. So I think when we talk about resilience, it's a bit of a funny one, and it's a humongous topic. You can do PhDs in resilience. People often define resilience as the ability to bounce back. And although that may be true, I don't think it's necessarily accurate. Bounce back just makes it sound really simple. Someone's resilient because they can just bounce back, woohoo, move on. And this is no bullshit wellbeing and resilience strategies. And we all know that that's actually not the reality. Sometimes it's more a case of crawling back, or maybe we don't even crawl back because we end up being somewhere different. So we're crawling to a new normal. And so I do think that resilience is really complicated. And I also think that I can help myself by, just the story that I'm choosing to believe can be enhanced by songs that are giving me a message that is really encouraging and uplifting. So for example, some of my songs, very quickly, I always get this confused. Chumbawamba, Tubthumping, that song, I get knocked down, but I get up again, that one. Always love that song. That's my go-to when it comes to resilience. Probably because it also talks about my youth. She drinks a vodka drink, she drinks a cider drink, she drinks a lager drink, she drinks all that. Anyway, that's another story altogether. But that's a really good resilience song. What other ones on there? 5, Keep On Moving. That's another one I've got there. I've got Starship, Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now. I've got Wookiee, Battle, Every Day Is Like a Battle, But We'll Overcome. And there's a disco classic. Oh, that's it. Ain't No Stopping Us Now. Ain't no stopping us now. That's another great one. So I've got this playlist together and I've been listening to it this morning. And I'm amazed that now I've got those kind of lyrics going on in my head. And that's the story that I'm now telling myself subconsciously. And that's the wolf that I'm feeding. That, you know, yeah, I got knocked down, but I get up again. And, you know, things can only get better. D-Ream, another classic. So my wellbeing strategy suggestion for you is to maybe think about some songs that have lyrics in them that really are uplifting, and put yourself a playlist. And when you're feeling like you need just that little bit of extra support, then here it is. And so I've been listening to it and going, yeah, I've got today, I can do today. I'm still not feeling fantastic and brilliant. I'm not Tony Robbins style going to go climb mountains and wrestle bears and all the rest of it. But I know that I can do today. And I know that the story I'm now telling myself is far more in line with what's going to be helpful for me than if I hadn't listened to this resilience playlist. So, itchy nose, sorry. I'm going to stop now. What I'd really appreciate though, before I finish, is if you've got any songs that you think would be good to add to the playlist, I'm going to put a post up with the songs I've got so far. Please can you add them, because at the moment I've got about about a dozen, but Spotify then add in new songs. And so I've got a whole bunch of songs that really have got nothing to do with resilience that suddenly come in at the end. So if you can add some more in, I would really, really appreciate it. All right, thanks so much for listening, and whatever you're doing, I hope you're traveling well. All right, bye.